Today is the day when we celebrate our religious community and welcome new members. It is a time when we recall the commitment we made to this community. We're reminded of our own moment of joining a Unitarian Universalist Church for the first time, perhaps even this congregation. Joining a Unitarian Universalist congregation means entering into a covenantal relationship, a spiritual commitment to work together, to be together. Sometimes at weddings, if you're looking around, you might notice people who have been married for a long time looking down at their rings or sharing furtive glances. Weddings have the power to remind people of the commitment that they made in the relationship that they share. Similarly, when we welcome new members, we are also reminded of our own commitment to a Unitarian Universalist congregation. This commitment was made and sustained over time because the congregation makes a difference in one's life. A Unitarian Universalist congregation is a great institution, and on days like today, we need to remember the importance that religious communities like this one make in our lives and in the lives of the larger community. We need to think about this church, Unitarian Universalist Church of the Lehigh Valley, as an institution that is totally different from any other in this area. This is a religious body that does not require adherence to any specific theological perspective. When I joined the Unitarian Universalist Church of Chattanooga almost 34 years ago, I had entered the congregation because I had recently experienced a mystical experience. However, I did not want a religious community to tell me what that mystical experience meant. I did not wish a church to tell me that my spirituality had to be like this, to fit into some mold, someone else's definition through a creed or any other finite statement of belief. I wanted to find my own meaning and to be in a community that would respect difference of belief, wherever personal faith might take me. In Unitarian Universalist religious communities, one can evolve spiritually. A person is free to change one's mind. One can evolve into a Unitarian Universalist congregation as an atheist and discover God or goddess and redefine oneself. One can then go to a different path and redefine oneself over and over. A person can embrace theological or philosophical ideas that do not normally fit together very well and not feel pressure to conform to what others believe about something. Ours is not a community that expects its members and friends to be thoroughly coherent theologically or philosophically. In my time, I have known Unitarian Universalists who believed in reincarnation, but did not believe in God or gods, who balanced Christianity and Buddhism, and many combinations of religious ideas that might or might not be contradictory. We are the kind of community that recognizes that spirituality is more a journey than a destination. For many of us, we offer safe space for people to explore and to evolve. This is our most distinctive trait as a religious body. In the fourth principle of the Unitarian Universalist Association, congregations covenant to affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. This is the most distinctive aspect of our faith. The other 6 or 7 principles, depending on whether the 8th principle is affirmed, could be applied to other religious movements. Our religious uniqueness is our ability to create space where truth and meaning can be explored without many boundaries. When considering ways to explain what being a Unitarian Universalist is like in a brief meme on the internet, I thought of an image of someone's hand wrapped around a steaming mug. Below the image would be the words, "Imagine a church where an atheist, a Christian, and a neo-pagan talk about social justice over coffee." That kind of describes what we are like? Why does this theological diversity or eclecticism work for us? We believe, I suspect, that the way we live is more important than beliefs. In the 19th century, the Unitarians were known for their motto, deeds, not creeds. We were then and are now more concerned with the way that people act than the beliefs that people espouse. In fact, a person's actions reveal the forces, the true beliefs that are shaping that person. Actions speak louder than words. In the way that we live our lives together, in most Unitarian Universalist congregations, we are oriented to the present and the future. Collectively, we focus on social service and advocacy. Social service is about doing things that help in the present. Advocacy is about working to make a better future. There are social justice issues that some Unitarian Universalist congregations focus on that are both social service and advocacy. For example, a church might be providing services for the homeless, while also meeting with politicians to advocate for policies to deal with the homelessness problem. That is certainly an aspect of our history, with Unitarian clergy involved in the founding of both the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, and the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU. Most Unitarian Universalist congregations believe that social justice is an important element of church life. Members are encouraged to join together for the common good, embracing the belief that we need to work for a better world. We have the responsibility to make the world better for all humanity and indeed all life. Now, we do take spirituality seriously, but if that is all we do, we know that our community will be incomplete. Many of us have groaned aloud as politicians reminded us or responded to human crises by calling on people to appeal to thoughts and prayers, as if appealing to God would resolve human problems that humans can resolve if they had the will to use their power for the common good. Even those of us who believe in a deity or deities believe that God will not rescue us from ourselves. We have to act. As former president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, William Sinkford wrote, "Ours are the only hens on earth." The final reason to join a Unitarian Universalist congregation is probably the most important one for most of us. It's community. A Unitarian Universalist church is obviously a community of people who affirm spiritual diversity, people who act for justice. In the midst of the quest for truth and meaning and social justice is a basic human reality. We Unitarian Universalists are not like other communities. None of our congregations, even the ones that practice Christian worship on Sundays, is like those in any other religious movement. Though we may not look it, we are our hearts nonconformists. We are a community of nonconformists, and that can be lonely. The message that I hear often is that people who join our congregations feel for the first time they are among others who understand and accept them, and that they never imagined a community like this could exist. They have come home. There's a temptation to dismiss Unitarian Universalist community as being like joining a social club, but that is not true. Tell me of the social clubs that provide rides to members for medical visits. Tell me of the social clubs that are concerned with those experiencing loss and death. When I served a congregation in the Deep South, there was a member who lived about 100 miles away from the congregation. On Sunday mornings, she rose early and drove for an hour and a half to worship for a couple of hours with a Unitarian Universalist congregation. She told me that the community kept her together, even if she wasn't part of it all the time. Just being in the room with her fellow church members gave her courage and hope for humanity's future. It did not matter if the people were talking about profound matters. She felt that she belonged. She felt supported by connecting with people who were open to nonconformity. This congregation is like that. This is a congregation that has bonded people together. This congregation is a caring community. Members and friends who are in distress are reached out to, and you do an amazing job at it. People come to church on Sundays to check in with each other, to connect with each other. We are here to acknowledge that life is hard, to hold each other up when there's a risk of falling, to be alive with each other, to care for each other. So there it is. My ministerial internship supervisor, Rupert Lovely, that's an amazing name, isn't it? Rupert Lovely, told me that people come to a Unitarian Universalist Church to know and be known. Like so many things that Rupert said, I have found enigma and depth in to know and be known. Joining a Unitarian Universalist Church, though, is about entering a community that affirms you in the uniqueness of who you are, strives to make the world better, and cares. Being part of a Unitarian Universalist Church is not always easy. Every congregation has its challenges. In the end, though, being a Unitarian Universalist means walking with sometimes imperfect people who are comfortable with ambiguity, know that they do not have all the answers, connect with each other, and want to love the hell out of this world. And those are some of the reasons that Unitarian Universalist congregations, like this one, are great. The flower communion is a celebration of this community. It was created by a Czech Unitarian minister, Norbert Šápek, who built from nothing the largest Unitarian congregation the world has ever known. I think it had 7,000 members. They can never worship in the same space at the same time. He created this flower communion because he felt there needed to be a ritual of celebration for the congregation he served. So today, we join in this flower communion in celebration of this community and its life, the life that gives us life. Norbert Šápek wrote this consecration of the flowers. He had a very different way of expressing himself from the way many of us might express ourselves. But here he writes, this is called the consecration of the flowers. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessings on these thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection, and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. So be it, blessed be, amen. I invite you to come forward to take a flower that you did not bring. And I will ask Larry to play music for us.
tiny.
Absolutely, absolutely.
My mom's favorite. I'm not sure.
Of course, please do.
It's like a pop-up. It works out. It works out. So everybody gets fed.
Jesus.
I can't wait.
I don't know if I have that, quite that faith.
What's the saying?
I don't know if I'm up to any miracles today.